Today's lesson is about finding the surface area of a cylinder. The student will find the surface area of prisms, cylinders, and pyramids. This is standard 4.1 and related to Nevada standard 3.73. The objective, find the surface area of a cylinder. Okay, now for the warm-up, you wanted to find the area of a circle with a diameter of 4 inches. And if you recall from your notes that the area of a circle is given by the formula area is equal to pi r squared. So the area of the circle then is pi r squared area, pi r squared. And in this course we use 3.4 as the value for pi, and we're going to multiply that by r squared, which is 4. Actually, I take that back. The radius is 2. It's half the diameter. Next we square the radius, and we end up multiplying by 4. And if you multiply 3.14 by 4, you'll end up with 12.56 inches squared. Remember, area is always squared. Now, in this next problem, we're going to find the area of a rectangle, and the area of any rectangle is just length times width. So 5 times 12 is equal to 60. Now, could have either used either dimension for your length or your width. That's from the commutative property of multiplication. Says the order of which you multiply your factors does not matter. So if we had considered this to be our width and length, it would be the same as if we had multiplied length times width. The surface area of a cylinder is comprised of 3 areas: a top circle, a bottom circle, and a lateral surface. That is a rectangle that curls around the circles. To find the surface area, you simply find the area of each section. The lateral surface rectangle has a height that is the height of the cylinder, so this height is the height of the cylinder. The lateral surface rectangle is a height that is the height of the cylinder, and the length is equal to the circumference of one of the circles because it needs to wrap around the circle. So this length here is the same as the distance around one of these circles. So in order to find this area, then you're just going to find the area of each one of these circles and then find the area of this rectangle, which is the 2 dimensions are 5 and the circumference of the circle. So first we'll find the area of the circle, and we have area of the circle is equal to pi, which is 3.14, times the radius squared, and in this case it's 4 squared, which gives us 3.14, and 4 squared is 16. I will pause the video while you multiply 3.14 times 16. So if you've done your math correctly, then you should have gotten 50 and 24/100 inches, or centimeters in this case, squared. Okay, so we know that the 2 areas are congruent. This circle is exactly the same as this circle, so we don't really need to figure this out again. We can just simply write in 50.24. And then our lateral area is going to be the circumference of this circle times the height. So we need to find the circumference of the circle, and if you remember, circumference is equal to 2 times the radius times pi. Okay, so in this case we have 2, the radius is 4, times 3.14. So I'll pause the video, or you should pause the video and do this calculation, and then resume after you've done your calculation. Okay, so if you've done your calculation correctly, then you should have gotten 25.12 inches. Now we need to multiply that now by the height, 5 here, times 5. And if you do that calculation, then you'll end up with 125.6 centimeters squared. So write that down here. It's 125.6 centimeters squared. These are all square units. So now to finish this, you need to add all 3 of these. So I'll pause it. You should pause the video and go ahead and multiply these and see what you come up with. Now, if you've completed your addition, you should have come up with 226 and 8/100 centimeters. And if we're going to round this to the nearest tenth, there's the rule. You look to the right, and if it's 5 and above, you give it a shove up. If it's 4 below, you keep it down low. So in this case, we're going to round up, and we'll end up with 226.1 centimeters squared. So make sure you have your square centimeters. Okay. Now we'll try another problem, and this is just a cylinder laid on its side, and here we have a diameter. So we need the radius, and remember the radius is half the diameter. So the radius is 2, and the diameter is 4. So if we find the area of the circle, area is equal to pi r squared. So that's 3.14 times 2 squared, which is 3.14 times 4, which equals 12.56 miles squared. So it's a big cylinder. It must be in outer space. Now, we'll go ahead and we already know these circles are congruent, so we don't really need to find this second one. So we'll just go ahead and write it in. But we do need to find the circumference of the circle, because remember, we're going to find the lateral surface. That's this surface here, which has a height of the same as a radius. No, here, I'm sorry, here, 5. And this distance from here to here is equal to the circumference of the circle, which is circumference is equal to diameter times pi. So I'll do the calculation down here. Circumference is equal to the diameter, which is 4, times pi, which is 3.14. And if we multiply that, well, we already know, we just did that calculation, we'll get 12.56 centimeters. But this is just a length, it's not a square. We need to now multiply this times the 5. So if you multiply 5 times 12.56, you will get Go ahead and pause the video if you want to check yourself. You will get 62.8. Let me double check that. 5 times 12.56 is indeed 62.8 tenths. Now, we need to add all of these together to get the total surface area. So we have 62 and 5, 6, plus this, plus this. We add all these together. If you add all those together, you get you have 87 and 92 centimeters squared. 87.92 or 92/100 squared. I'll double check my video. Pause and do your own calculation. Okay, did you catch my mistake? When I wrote this down here, I wrote it as 62.56. It should have been 62.8. So let's pause the video and redo our calculation. Hopefully you saw that mistake, and we'll just go ahead and see if we can fix this. Okay, now if you've done the correct calculations, you should have gotten 87 and 7 tenths centimeters squared. So this was not the answer, and this is the correct answer. Okay, in conclusion, summary, by using your knowledge of how to find the areas of circles and rectangles as well as the circumference of a circle, you have learned how to find the surface area of a cylinder. Key points to remember: the cylinder is comprised of 3 surface areas. The top and bottom of the cylinder are circles. The lateral curved surface is a rectangle that has the same width as the circumference of one of the circles. And on the website you will find a PDF of a worksheet that you need to complete for homework.